Hello, I'm John, I'm the Warhammer Modeller. This video is going to be slightly different. It's a bit of a hangout while I just play around and make something and chat in general. It's not quite live, but I'll upload it straight after I've finished recording. So this evening I'm going to be making a Relic of the Forge, which is a terrain piece from Necromunda's House of Chains. So it's a House Goliath terrain piece. It's forge relics are pieces of broken machinery that have been reshaped into a totem pole of clan icons and industrial weaponry. So I'm going to start that this evening. I'll probably chat while I'm going through, talking to myself at the moment, but hey, what's new? So what I'm going to start with, I'm going to use this fella from the industrial terrain from Games Workshop. I'm going to chop this up a little bit. I've got a few ideas that I want to do, so I'm going to start cutting it up. I have got a few other videos planned at the moment. I am continuing my Primera Space Marine Terminators. Here's one. I did this one ages ago. I've been a bit slow on finishing off the videos, but I do have new parts, which I will be making a video of how to make them from there. But this evening I'm gonna start with this. So what I am gonna do, let's find there we go. Bit of ambient sound from Blade Runner. Right, so let's get going. I'm going to start by chopping the legs off this guy. So I'm actually going to use some clippers first and then tidy it up with my scalpel. So I've got a few ideas of how I want this to go, but I'm just going to start by prepping this. I'm not going to waste any of these bits because I could use them later on. Yeah, as I said, I've been working at home now for 3 days, which is quite unusual. I do work in a university normally, but it's now yeah, stay at home time. So let's just cut these out. So yeah, I apologise if I babble while I'm doing this. I've got so many things piling up at the moment that I can make, but work's taken over this week a little bit. So I'm hoping that next week I'll have a bit more time to kind of relax, collect my thoughts and things like that. It's a bit of an unusual time at the moment, as everyone is experiencing. Something that I've been thinking about is how currently nearly the whole world is shitting their pants. We'll see how we get out of this. But anyway, enough talk about what's going on outside. Let's talk about the fantastic world of the hobby. So yeah, doing this Goliath terrain, they're my least favourite gang, but since the House of Chains book came out, I thought I'll give them a go, start modelling up a gang, which they're actually sitting just up here at the moment. Here is a few of them. It's I am kind of enjoying making them very different from my usual kind of choice of gangs, but hey, it's the variety that counts. I think the story that they fleshed it out with in the book works really nicely, so I'm quite happy to give them a go. So let's just carry on fettling away. So yeah, I'm going to try and sort this out so I can stream live rather than record and then upload it later. So I'm going to see what I can do with that. Any advice, please let me know. Currently recording off my SLR Well, it's not a true SLR, it's a Sony Nex series, little SLR. But yeah, I want to try and live stream so I can interact with a few people rather than sitting here chatting to myself. Okay, so there we go, I've trimmed the legs off here. Next thing that I'm thinking of doing, this is from a Forge World Contemptor Dreadnought, but these fingers of the Power Fist, I'm actually thinking quite nice to bulk out the teeth along the bottom here. So let's trim these off and see what we can do. But yeah, so for the this pit terrain piece, which is the Relic of the Forge, I'm thinking of doing a few others. Quite like the idea of the Pillar of Chains in the book as well. But this one starts out, I'm just going to do a little bit of it for now, see how far I get, and then do another video as I kind of get more bits together, start putting pieces together and so on. So, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab some blue tack. Let's have a look. I say first thing I'm going to do, I say that a lot, so I'm going to end up doing the first thing over and over again. But another thing I'm going to do. So let's have a look at, trying to do this with my dodgy thumb. That's another story, but might as well talk about it. So this thumb here, it's now about 3 years ago, yeah, 3 years ago, I had an accident with a table saw that nearly took the whole end of my thumb off, but since then it's been quite a bit of a pain to kind of work. So it's quite bulky, but I do kind of like the idea of the big bulky teeth hanging down. So okay, so let's have a look at this, let's line them up, see how we do. So I quite like the idea of these teeth on here. So I'm wondering, I might show you with my fat thumb, I'll show you with a knife. I might cut this section off here. So cut down and cut in to then place those on, because I quite like the idea of those on there. So just looking around at my mess of a desk, because I should have a saw which is just there. So this is it's what we call our workroom. So I've got a nice big desk here, absolutely filthy at the moment. I've got to tidy it up, but hey. So I'm going to cut down here and along in here as well. So let's just go for it. I'm kind of winging this one as I go. I've got a few ideas as I go, but I just want to kind of rough it out and see what happens as I go. So what other things have people been doing? I'm asking this now. You can post them in the comments, or if you find me on Twitter, share your things that you've been making in there. I've been recently mainly doing these Goliaths. So many projects on the go as well. It's one of these things. I've got a mountain of things to do, but funnily enough at the moment I have a mountain of time on my hands, as we all do. So yeah, I like that. I'm going to blue tack these in place again, and we'll have a look at what it looks like. So we'll get this one on in the end. Ooh. Not enough blue tack to do this properly, but I don't mind. So that's the kind of the look I'm going for there with all those teeth. Yeah, I quite like that. Okay, Yeah, okay, so let's put those to one side for now, because I'll start putting those together in a minute. So for the top of this skull, I want to make it into like a effigy of Goliath, the Goliath gang member. So I've got the head of, I think it's their renderizer axes. I'm going to mount these all along the top to create a mohawk. So I'm only going to do the front for this. I think for now I'm only going to stick to the front, and I'll do the back in another video for now. So I've already prepped 2 of these on some styrene rod. I think it's 2mm rod, might be 3mm, let's have a look. That's 2mm rod. Ooh, as I move everything around the place. So what I'm looking for, the first one is going to go in there. So I'm actually going to drill a little pilot hole and then use a slightly bigger drill bit to make a hole for it. So let's go about here. So there's a hole for the first one, and then here we go, slightly widening it a little bit more. So let's have a look. First things first, see if that fits. Yes, that does fit. So I'm gonna let's have a look. This one's already got a slightly chopped down handle on it, so I just want to see how far that goes. I quite like it that length. Right, I'm gonna go for it. So I'm not even going to worry. If it goes wrong, I'm just going to take it apart and start again. But hey. Yeah, so this week been kind of strange. Been working at home. I used to work from home all the time when I was self-employed, but I got out of that quite a while ago now, a few years. 4 or 5 years now. Ooh, helps if I hold it in place. So I managed to get a delivery of glue at the beginning of the week, which was quite nice. Now Games Workshop's not selling anything, so I have packets of glue ready to go. But we'll get through this. It's a strange situation we're in, but I'm just going to wait for that to dry for a little bit. While it's doing that, I'm going to have a look where I want the second one to go. Yeah, so just want to wait for this to dry for a little bit. So I might fast forward the edit while I wait for it to dry. Okay. Not COVID-19. Right. Okay, so fast forwarding stopped. Drill another hole here. So let's put this in. This is quite a nice chill out actually. It'd be nice to get these live, and then I can chat to people as they ask questions, swear at me, tell me I'm doing things wrong, all the kind of things that the internet brings up, because there's loads of lovely people on the internet, and there are actually loads of lovely people on the internet. I have to say I've got some of the greatest followers on Twitter. Seeing some of the stuff that they do is really good. Okay, so I'm going to trim this down actually. I'm going to trim that down so I get a better mohawk. Oops. So I'm going to trim this. Oops, excuse me, let's just get a block to So, what do I do for a living? I am actually a professional model maker. I work in a university as a technician demonstrator on a model making degree, teaching up and coming model makers how to do what they do. Yeah, I like that. So this is my hobby. I've loved Games Workshop for years. I have done Games Workshop for years. I started at a very young age. So I've done another video on what first got me into Games Workshop, which you can see on this YouTube channel. Was Bloodbath at Orcs Drift back in the mid-80s. That's like it, yeah. Which my brother owned a copy and I got hooked. I was the very young age of about 5 when I got into Games Workshop. I'm doing a few videos on that as well, just what got me into the hobby. But yeah, since the mid-80s I've been doing Games Workshop. It is a habit that I think I will be doing till I drop. Hopefully won't be any time soon. You can never tell with what's going on at the moment, but hey. So, we'll let that dry for a little bit. Let's have a look at these teeth. So, there's the two end ones. There we go. So it has a section on it, like an end point, little hinge. Those are my two end pieces. So I want to keep those separate for now. And then these are the front teeth that I want to put in place. So, as they are resin and this is plastic, gotta go for my trusty super glue. Only time I ever use it was when different materials go to different materials. Oh my god, that is awful. Right, I'm going to clean the end of my super glue because that is ropey as. Oh, there we go. Right, okay. So I'm going to start with a little bead just on there for now. Not too much. I can always undo this if it goes wrong. And then place this just in place there. Now, with super glue, I'm giving it a light breath of air. I don't use it kicker or any accelerants. I know what they do to you medically, and I've seen what it does to people. So we make sure our students don't use it. If you use them, fine, good on you, but I don't. It's a bit of a shitty thing what it does to the insides. But anyway, let's get this in place. So that's another one in place. Nice. Okay, so there is two of the teeth in. Looks slightly skew. That's, well, super glue's gone off now, so it's staying skew. Let's get this side in. So, whoop, let's make sure I clean that off a bit. So that one's going to go on there. And then the next one is just going to sit here. Now the thing I've noticed with all this, I'm not actually looking at the screen on my camera, so I have no idea if any of this is in focus. If it's not, I apologise. So that kind of is what I want to get to at the moment. I think. Now I might push these back slightly. I might bring them down to here. Let's see what that one was. Yeah, I'm going to bring those down slightly. So, bit of fixing, as I've already glued this one. Put the lid on that glue. So, let's separate this one. So, cut resin or plastic. I'm going to cut the plastic. So, let's cut into this a little bit. I accidentally knocked that one off at the same time, so I'll take that off at the same time. Won't worry about that for now. So, just gently work into there. Doop de doop doo. So yeah, other things that I'm working on at the moment. It's quite apt at the moment. I've done a single player rules for Necromunda that I'm playtesting at the moment. So please, link is on my Twitter account, I'll put it on here as well. If you want to give it a go for a bit of single player Necromunda, give any recommendations on improvements, please take a look. Yeah, it's hang on. It's this Alone in the Dark, single player and NPC play in Necromunda. So I'm going off track slightly here, but I don't care. So we have not spreadsheets, flowcharts. That's the word. Flowcharts to decide what characters are doing and things like that. I'm going to do another video on that later anyway. So let's glue these in place. Bit of super glue. Oh, actually this is really nice and relaxing. I know I'm talking to myself, but hopefully people will watch the video, go for comments and stuff like that. Let's get that in there as well. Perfect. Okay. Oh, I'm really happy with that. So from an idea I had, so this is just the front of the skull. So we have here the beginnings of the mohawk made from those chain axes, and then the teeth along the bottom. Just going to stand up to have a look at the screen to see how it looks. Ah, cool. Okay, good. It is in focus. Hooray! So we have that. Camera cut out. For now, I'm going to call this a day. I'm going to do another video, maybe tomorrow evening or next few days, just finishing this off. But anyway, I've been John, I'm the Warhammer Modeller, and thanks for watching.